Hey guys, welcome to my monthly Q&A. So, yeah, finally live and I started right on time. I said I would start at 8. I did realize like last week I said I was going to do it Thursday and I think I forgot to tell you guys I was canceling. So, I canceled that one and told you guys about this Wednesday one. So, here we are. Hopefully we get some commenters and start up this Q&A. Let's see. I have not even checked. Nathan says hi. Hey, Nathan. He's in the comments. Reload my page. I got a notification on YouTube. And it's about my Action Comics review, if you have not checked that out. I did post the Action Comics review. I'll read that comment after. But yeah, so I guess I'll update you guys of what's going on the channel, and then as we get questions, I will answer those. And of course, TV questions, movies, comic books, of course. Want to ask about my comics, like Follow My Daughter, They Call Her Dancer, you totally can. But yeah, so what's coming up for the channel? I did post comic book review for Action Comics, like I said. So I did an individual review for that because it's Action Comics and it's issue 1000. So I thought, why not? And then I was able to actually read all my comics today. So I did post my episode review for the week. Loud House reviews as always. The superhero shows, sadly, I've been kind of behind. Supergirl, I still have to watch this week. I hope I could get at least into the Supergirl reviews. It's just been, my schedule has been crazy, so I haven't been able to do that. So only reviews TV-wise have been really promising is Loud House. So I got that going on. Let me make sure all the noise and all that's cool, because I haven't even checked. Yeah, it's good. Flash the Shape Chapter said, made it this time. Hi, Kat. Hey, I'm glad you made it. I think we lost a couple of viewers, so I wanted to make sure it was all good. So, yeah, what else is going on? I got a lot of Comic-Cons coming up. So this May, I have 2 this May. Sorry, really coming up soon. So let me look at my calendar to see. Oh, and I did not. To see what those dates are. They're back to back, those Comic-Cons. So let's see. May 19th is going to be New Dorp Comic-Con. Really great convention. It's in Staten Island at New Dorp High School. So if you live in the area, definitely go there. Really nice, like, community type Comic-Con. And yeah, so definitely I'll have a panel there too. So I'll be talking about the, breaking into the comic book industry during the digital age. So that's going to be cool. Looking forward to doing that. I had a panel last year as well. And then MegaCon. I don't know if I've actually announced it, so I am announcing it here. I will be at MegaCon Orlando. So if you're in Florida, MegaCon Orlando is right before Memorial Day. So it's the 24th through 28th. I will be there. Really excited about this. Have not done a convention in Florida. Love Florida. My brother lives in Florida. I love it. Love the state. So really excited about that. And I'll be selling like Follow My Daughter and They Call Her Dancer there. All set for that. So those are 2 conventions I'll be doing in May. Let me know if there's any conventions you would like me to go to. I'm very much thinking, I've not put the money down yet, but it's pretty certain in my head that I want to go to Baltimore Comic-Con because I've just been, so many creators go over there. I really want to do that one. The Baltimore Comic-Con's one. Trying to think if there's anything else. I do have Garden State Comic Fest, and I believe that's in July. Let me see. Yes, that is in July 7th and 8th, and that is in New Jersey. So definitely go there. That's a fun one. And of course, I'll be going to San Diego Comic-Con 18th through the 22nd. I'll be doing press there, not exhibiting my comic, but I'll be doing that. So look forward to all that stuff. And I have a lot of comic stuff, like writing comic stuff coming up. Been writing a lot. So yeah, when I can announce those things, I'll announce it. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. Actually, Sean, my publisher for Short Fuse, just did a video on Facebook talking about all the stuff that's coming up for Short Fuse. Just a lot of awesome titles over there if you want to go check all that out. The Stealth Campaign, their Kickstarter, Sean came up with the story. William did the dialogue. It's a really cool book. I will probably do a video on it too, just to help push the word about it. So that's gonna be launching Friday, and I'll definitely be sharing that, and that's gonna be cool. So so the Sean's video, definitely go check it out on Facebook. His name is Sean Mack, or you could check out the Short Fuse Media like page. I believe it's shared over there. So a lot of places to go see it if you want to see more Short Fuse stuff. Which is who publishes like Father Like Daughter, and They Call Her Dancer. All right, we got some highs here. Definitely come, get some questions on there if you guys have any. I see a couple of viewers here now. Ranger Red says hiya, and then Unlimited Production 1 says, hey, Comic Uno, which we had a fun conversation today. Unlimited Production's been with the channel for 8 years now, really from the beginning. I can't believe I've been reviewing comics for, I believe, like 9 years, 8 or 9 years. Crazy to think about that. I love reviewing comics, as you know. So it's really cool to see how my taste has changed, how my pull lists obviously have changed. I remember like thinking 7 was a lot of books back then. It was like, oh man, 7 books. That's a lot. That's a big pull list. And obviously I read like 20 books now, and that's like my average. So it's kind of cool to look back at that. So we're starting to get a couple more viewers here. Like I said, just ask questions in the comments. Oh, we got one question here from Nathan Banks. What are your thoughts heading into Avengers Infinity War? What are you looking forward to for the movie? And do not say Captain Marvel. Yeah, I know I can't say Captain Marvel because she won't be there. From what I'm hearing, this is not a spoiler because this didn't come out of the movie. This was a news piece that came out for future Avenger movies. But future Avenger movies, it looks like Cassie Lang's going to be a part of these movies. And if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Cassie Lang fan. I've been wanting Cassie in the MCU for a very long time. And why I was really excited for Ant-Man, because I knew Cassie was going to be in it. I was like, she's a kid. What are they going to do? She can't do much. So it's cool that might be possible. Maybe I would like to see some hints of that. That's honestly getting me more excited for Infinity War. Other stuff, I just want to be surprised, honestly. I think with a lot of these movies, like I have fun with them, but I'm not, they kind of go through the motions. I want to be excited. And I felt that with Black Panther. I felt that with Spider-Man just because I am a huge Spider-Man fan. I want to feel that again with the Avengers film. I really haven't felt that since the first Avengers, honestly. The other ones just like I had fun with Civil War, but I can't say, oh my god, that happened in Civil War. So yeah, I want some excitement with this. And yeah, I would love Captain Marvel, but probably gonna get that in part 2. All right. Unlimited Production says, for some reason I tend to think a question afterwards. Gotta think. Well, thank you. Hopefully I'm sure you're gonna come up with some awesome questions. So whenever, take your time. Take your time. All right. Flash Shape Chapter says, so Kat, if Mayday does get a new book, what would you like to see? I would love to see Mayday get her own book. What would I like to see? I would like to see a continuation of what Tom DeFalco, Ron Friends' vision was for the book. I would like to still see the high school stuff, and her dealing with her dad's passing. We got a glimpse of it in the short stories we got of her in Secret Wars and all that, but I really like to see her deal with those emotions because her father obviously was very important to her. So, and how that changes her as a hero. So I would like to see that, and just continue what that series was doing because it was doing well. I will say some hope. They are releasing finally. It looks like the full collection of this series because if you don't know, only really half of that first series was collected. I think it was up to like 60 or 70, like issue 70 or something. And those are only ones that are in the Reader Digest. There's about 30 other issues that just were never collected. Amazing Spider-Girl has completely been collected. I don't know about the recent short stories. I guess that's probably collected in some Secret Wars thing. But I don't think it's been collected in like an individual Spider-Girl trade just yet. Maybe they'll do it somewhere else. But it's cool that they're starting that. That was in the recent solicits that at least volume 1 of that's going to be coming out. And I guess it'll be like a real trade because if you remember, the Reader Digest are just like these small things. They're much smaller, so it'd be cool to kind of get like a full page trade for that. I'll be getting it, so I want to promote that. Definitely get it if you want more Mayday. Get those trades because that's the only way to let Marvel know we want more. All right. DNGN says, do you think comic book movies will maintain mainstream popularity after Infinity War concludes? I think it depends on how good the movie is. If it's bad, I think people are going to be like, oh, man, we waited that long for that. I hope that's not it. But yeah, I mean, I hope so. Definitely just it's great that more people are getting into superheroes because of these movies. So, yeah, like I said, I hope that it does well. We got Kenneth who's in the comments, says, hey to me. Yeah, so like I said, guys, just keep coming with the questions. I believe I shared on Twitter and in Discord. If you don't follow us on Discord, we have a lot of fun comic book conversation there. No trolls. It's just, fun community. I'll post a link in the comments there that we guys could check that out. Let me see. Invite. Let's see. Never know how to do this. I think I actually have in the description of this video. So if you want to check that out, you can check it out there. Or I'll just copy and paste it from there because I know that's the right link. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, those are pretty good questions about the movies because we are getting closer, very close to Infinity War. It doesn't even feel like it. Free Comic Book Day is coming soon. I was talking to my the person who works at my comic book store, and I was saying, oh man, Free Comic Book Day is coming soon. It just like year went so quick. I'm always excited for Free Comic Book Day. The way I cover it though is I'm doing a poll because everyone's kind of getting the same thing. I rather do a review. So I usually do like what my Comic Uno episode is, but for the Free Comic Book Day books that I wanted to read. So I'm hoping to get Power Rangers, hopefully get the Marvel DC stuff. I believe there's a Legend of Korra book. Would love to get that. So let me post that Discord. And it looks like we're getting a lot more comments. So thank you guys. Somehow I just posted all the links I have in my description. I do not want that. Just a Discord. I also see that I have my Instagram there. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely check that out. All right, there's the Discord link. Yeah, we have a lot more questions here, so I'm going to look here. A Nut draws. Hi, Comic Uno. Who's your favorite Power Ranger of all time? Who's your favorite if you give an easy answer like Kimberly? Okay, so my answer would be Kimberly because she actually is my favorite Ranger, but I understand that being too easy. So I would go with like my second favorite Ranger. Wow, my second favorite Ranger. Maybe be Kira from Dino Thunder or Ashley from the Turbo in Space. I think those would be my two runner-ups for favorite Rangers, but my number one would always be Kimberly. That was a good question. All right. Super Mario says, would you ever want any of your own comic book creations to team up with another characters creations? And we actually do that a lot with Short Fuse. We've had pinups of crossovers and maybe thoughts of other things with crossovers. So also Invulnerable, speaking of the stealth Kickstarter that I was talking about before, Invulnerable has like a little image in there, so Invulnerable has popped up in other stuff. So I have gotten that. It's pretty cool. Kenneth says, Kat, thoughts on Steven Spielberg directing a DC film? I did discuss this on Frontline Live, so I'm going to push you over there. It was last night's Frontline Live. I could get you the link for that too, because I always promote it and never actually like put the link, and I know it's hard for people to search sometimes. So I'll post you guys last night's Frontline Live, which yes, we did talk about the Steven Spielberg thing, so I don't want to repeat my thoughts on that, but good question. All right, let me get that. Sharing all these links. All right. There it is. Copied and paste. And shared. So there you go. If you want my thoughts, that's where it is. All right. Flash the Shape Chapter says, do you have any hopes for Venom? I want Venom to be good, but I don't see it at this point. I really hope I'm wrong, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same boat. I would love Venom to be good, but I also don't know if it will be. So we'll see about that. Next is from DNGN. The last question we have right now, so definitely keep coming with those questions. Which Justice League are you most looking forward to? So which Justice League are you most looking forward to of the teams spinning out of No Justice? I gotta look at the list. Justice League, No Justice. I'll look at the teams. No, Wonder Woman has that Justice League Dark one, which kind of looks cool. Nothing I'm like, oh my god, I need to read this, which is a little disappointing. But let's see. Oh, this is not an image that's showing me anything. Awesome. Let's see. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, the Wonder Woman one was cool. The one with Zatanna and Wonder Woman. I think that's probably the one I was looking forward to the most. I can't, and Jessica Cruz is in that one too, I believe. That's gonna be a cool one. So that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Wish I had it in front of me. Nathan says, what does Marvel need to do in order to shake up their cartoon series department? It seems like Marvel has given up on their current animation shows. I mean, I would say, honestly, try to make a target audience of families, because right now it is very much a target audience of just young boys. They're not even, oh, you know what? Marvel Rising is coming out, though. I feel like that's their new thing that hopefully will target everybody. That's going to be cool. So I'm looking forward to that, wherever that actually airs. Forgot about that. All right, let's see. DNGN. Ironically, I used my print of Invulnerable to cover a hole in my wall. I'm proud. I am proud to hear that. Kenneth says, question, Kat, do you think next season one of the DC, okay, so one of the DC TV shows, either Supergirl or Legends Tomorrow, will move to Sunday next season? The DC TV shows seem to be having scheduling issues this season. I think so, because of what happened this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Legends Tomorrow moved to that time slot. I think they'll try to keep Supergirl on Monday. But we'll see. May we'll find that out. And usually for Media Madness, we do the upfronts conversations. So we watch all the trailers and say, oh, we're excited for that. And we do complete coverage of that. And we do coverage of the schedule. So the CW definitely will release their schedule by then. And, we'll hear what got canceled and stuff like that, which obviously they pretty much announced a lot of the stuff that was already coming out. Or, coming back, I'm sorry. Tevia says, question, Kat, how do you feel about Action Comics reaching 1,000 issues? I thought you were going to say, how do I feel about Action Comics issue 1,000? I was like, watch my review. But you didn't ask that. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's crazy in a lot of ways that's reached this number. But I'm happy, and hopefully more comics do so. Oh, and let's see. Quan Members says, well, first I want to reference Flash the Shape Chapter's Grumpy Cat. So I guess they just checked out the Frontline Live. So last night, if you didn't watch, I was exhausted. I was so tired. And then my friends on Frontline, they were just like, all right, Kat, you gotta stay on. And I was just like falling asleep. And it was just like they're pushing my buttons, obviously, in the hilarious way. So definitely go check that out if you want to see Sleepy Cat become Grumpy Cat. I needed my sleep. And I did fall asleep right after that show. I was exhausted. It's like 1 a.m. So, all right. Quan Member says, do you watch Black Lightning? I do watch Black Lightning. I'm a couple episodes behind, but I'm getting there on my binge. It's just so busy. So many shows on. So, but yeah, I watch it and I'll 100% finish it soon, because I'm only maybe like 3 episodes behind on it. So while I try to organize my comics, I watch it, which is why I've been saving it, because I like watching Black Lightning while I do that. So yeah, I'll definitely be done with that soon. Excited to see where the show goes. I really like it. It's a good show. Oh, okay. Tevia says, Kat, do you think Young Justice Season 3 is going to be amazing? I'm not gonna read the Marvel part, but yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I'm a huge spoiler fan, Stephanie Brown fan, as you guys probably know. So I'm stoked to see what the team does with Steph. And also Artemis, not Artemis, I'm sorry, Arrowette, who was a Young Justice character from the comics, which a lot of people thought she was going to be Artemis. So because she was the Arrow character in Young Justice, and I love Arrowette. I think she's such an underrated character because a lot of people don't know her because she actually retired. She's like one of the few characters that stayed retired because she's a character that was forced into the superhero business from our mom, and she like was Olympic gold medalist for archery, and it's a cool story. It was a really unique thing, and I hope they add to the show. So I'm stoked for the new characters and the old characters, see what they're up to. So very excited. And that's another show that I will 100% be reviewing week after week. So don't worry about that. That is on the list. All right. Moving on to Nathan. What adaptations of Marvel comic book storylines would you like to see Marvel use for an animated movie? I think they're trying to do it more for the live action movies. I feel like make DC do that. I don't know if I need it for Marvel. I don't want Marvel to kind of copy DC on that. So they're trying with the live action stuff, and I'd rather see it in the TV shows than them spit out a movie. DNGN, are there any young writers you are rooting for at Marvel, considering most of the vets are over at DC? Young, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm always rooting for young writers, young creators, but I don't know which one I'm rooting for right now. You gotta name a few that are actually young, because I feel like there's still a lot of people that are been there for a while. Even like the newer writers, like Matthew Rosenberg, who I really like, who did We Can Never Go Home. Like he's a newer writer at Marvel because he launched his career with that series with We Can Never Go Home. But he's still he has so many Marvel titles, and he's been doing a lot. So I don't know if I would call him like a young writer. So I don't know. Name a couple that you feel like are young, and I'll tell you if I'm rooting for them. Well, I root for everybody though. So, but I'll tell you if I've been enjoying their work or not. Good question. Tevia, because a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna skip that. That's not a question. Anyways, Kenneth, do you see DC doing a weekly anime series again, like they did when Batman the Anime series? Blah blah blah. So all those cartoons was on Cartoon Network. I don't know. I think they're going to see how Young Justice plays out, and I don't think we'll see it on cable. I think we would see it on the DC digital service if they find success with Young Justice, which I'm sure they will. So I think they're planning more about that once we get more information about it. Flash to Shapeshifter. The only thing I'm reading at the moment is Power Rangers and Spider-Man. Any recommendations? I always say that what do you usually like? And that's the easier way to recommend. Like, do you like, if you want an indie title, do you like horror? Do you like thrillers or superheroes? For Marvel, like what type of characters do you usually like? And that's a bit easier to recommend and cater to you, because everyone obviously has a different preference. We got a Nut Draws. I remember hearing that you prefer the single issue format for superhero comics, monthly with cliffhangers. Thoughts on DC imprints focus specifically on bookstores, DC Black Label, DC Zoom /Ink. I do like the single issue format more, especially reviewing. It's easier to do. Like those books, I probably will try getting it. Like here's a graphic novel review, but it's kind of harder to read through. It takes a bit more time. But yeah, I personally like that format more, but doesn't mean that I don't want graphic novels. I think they're their own beast, and they're awesome stories as well that you don't have to wait. So, it's not what I love. Like I wouldn't want everything turned into a graphic novel, and I'm not a trade, reader. I read in single issues, but doesn't mean I don't want those stories as well. Like I'll definitely pick them up. I have fun with Earth One in graphic novels like that. So sure, excited to see where those go. Tevia, do you think Bendis is taking on too much with Action Comics? So that's pretty much a question. Do you think he's taking on too much? Yeah, I mean, I think he has a lot of projects. I hope he proves us wrong that he doesn't have too many, but we can only say when those issues come out. Flash Shapeshifter, has Bendis started his Superman run yet? Technically, he had a little story in Action Comics, so that's kind of the start, a little tease. And then Man of Steel comes out. That'll be his actual start of the Superman run. So look forward to that. Kenneth says, question, Kat, do you think in comics Supergirl works as a sidekick character or her own? Her own. I never really felt like she worked as a sidekick. I see her as guest star, but not really a sidekick. So I'll say her own. So keep coming with the questions, guys. Anything you want to ask about Marvel, DC, again, comic stuff. You want to ask about like Father, Daughter, Colored Dancer, you can ask those stuff too. Movies, TV shows, which you guys have been doing a good job at. And I'm sorry that this is like on Wednesday. It was like the only day I was able to do it. I know it's the middle of the week, so it's strange that, not everyone is free. I was able to get my comic reviews done, so I was like, all right, let me do my Q&A today. Is like the only day I was like, oh, I could do this month. That works. So sorry about that. Usually I try and make it Sunday or Monday, and it seems like that works out a little bit better. But hey, you gotta switch it up sometimes. All right, let's see. We got a couple of questions here. Tevia, Kat, do you think Miles Morales Spider-Man can be saved? All right, so I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, I mean, he's a great character. We've seen him written well. I'm sure there's another writer and artist you could take him on. And a Nut Draws, who's your favorite comic artist of all time? Francis Manapul is my favorite. Tevia says, Kat, how would you bring back Spider? Oh, so I actually already talked about this a bit. Not how what her story should look like. I talked about. So check that out earlier in the stream. DNGN, Supergirl works as a Kryptonian. Too many writers try to portray her as Superman with ovaries. Yeah, no, she's very much her own character, and I agree. Like, when they try to be too much like, oh, let's just do a Superman story, it's like she was a Kryptonian. That's part of her story, is that she was on Krypton. She remembers it. Definitely utilize that portion like the show does. Okay, so this is for the recommendations. Flash Shape Chapter. Well, I like Spider-Man, but I'm not a fan of Spider-Gwen because I'm a little tired of seeing Gwen Stacy. That's okay. Also love the X-Men in case they have a book. So X-Men, right now I'm enjoying X-Men Gold the most. I'm not loving any X-Men title though, sadly, except All New Wolverine, actually. I do recommend All New Wolverine. That's a solid / excellent book every month. So definitely go check that out. So yeah, I would say All New Wolverine, and I like X-Men Gold because that's like the roster I've always enjoyed, which is Kitty Pryde and her friends. So I'm a huge Kitty fan, as again, probably already know. So I like that book the most. X-Men Red I've been disappointed with. I might drop it. I like the roster, but just haven't been feeling the chemistry of that team. And I love Tom Taylor, but I've been feeling that book. And then X-Men Blue I dropped. I mean, I like the roster, but I just didn't care for the story as well. And what else? Astonishing X-Men I'll be picking up because Dazzler is going to be in it. So I'm excited for that. What else am I picking up? Obviously, all the Wolverine Hunt stuff I'll be picking up, at least at the first issue of every miniseries. And, of course, the actual Hunt for Wolverine series. Excited to see what they're going to do with that. So, yeah, those are some X-Men books that are out right now, if that helps. And Spider-Man... Amazing Spider-Man's actually been really good, and I know you said you're already picking that up. And I love Spider-Gwen, so that's what I would recommend for you with the Gwen-a-Mark. If you like that, I think they're doing the Venom stuff really well. But I understand you don't like Gwen Stacy, so you probably won't like that. That's all I can really recommend Spider-Man-wise, because Renew Your Vows is okay. What else is Spider-Man is not great right now, and that's all that's coming out. So out of Spider-Man books, Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man is not really worth picking up. Yeah, those are ones I could only recommend there. Okay, let's see. Got a lot of questions. Kenneth, question. Without going into spoilers, what do you think of Supergirl in a few of the Action Comics issue 1000 stories? Well, she was only in the one, and she only really kind of showed her face. She doesn't really have a story there. I don't know if you read it yet. I guess you did because you gave me your list. But yeah, she didn't really do much, so I don't really have a huge opinion on it. All right, let's see. Tavia says, oh, I'm sorry. I've answered this a lot. Oh no, you're asking why I don't like him. I've answered that as well. Why I don't like John. I just can't get into his character. I don't hate him. I like him at some sorts, but I'm not going to go out and pick up Super Sons. That's just, I don't care for their dynamic. So personal preference. That's all I could say. DNGN, are there any new DC imprints that you are interested in? I think DC has like 10 different lines of comics in the works. One that I'm interested in. Gotta look at the list of the lines that are coming out. I want more from Vertigo. I want American Vampire to come back. Like every single time like a solicit comes out, I'm like, is American Vampire gonna be on it? No American. Okay, no American Vampire. I just want that to end. I want to see the conclusion of that. I love that series. So yeah, with the other imprints, I'm trying to figure out, because again, like there's been so many that's been announced, but I can't think of the back of my head right now of like, or top of my head, like what I'm like, oh my God, I need everything from this imprint. All right, let's see. Tevia says, how do you feel about the Inhumans finally going away? I have no opinion on it. I don't read the Inhumans. I don't want to say, ooh, let's kill off the Inhumans, because I'm sure there are people that like them. So it doesn't affect me. That's why I'll say never, other than Miss Marvel, I really don't. And she's not really even in the Inhumans. She just is an Inhuman. She doesn't really deal with the royal family. So again, doesn't affect me. Flash Shape Chapters, Spider-Man 2099 Dead. I didn't read the ending of Spider-Man 2099. I dropped off a little bit, like probably in the middle of the series. So, I don't know. Tevia, question, Kat, do you think Laura is getting screwed over because of X-23? Again, I can't answer until we get the comic. That's the only time I can really answer it. But from what I'm seeing with the solicits and what I know about the creative team, I think we're going to get a really good Laura story and get a good reason why she's going back to X-23. A nut. What DC or Marvel title would be the best recommendation for a Power Ranger fan? That's a really good question. Marvel, I would say, well, it depends on what you like about Power Rangers. Do you like the civvy stuff? Because that's what I like. I love the civvy stuff. If you do, I would say like Miss Marvel. That's fun. I'm trying to think. Huh. It's a really good question. DC. I feel like I could give you indie books more. Like I give you the Mech Cadet U. You probably like that from Boom. You probably like maybe Fence, just because it has like this Japanese influence. Trying to think of like team books. I don't know. I gotta think about that. That's a really good question. Like trying to go down. I'll look at my list. Look at my pull list. That might help a little bit more. Let's see. No, that's a good question. I can't look through my whole pull list. I'm just like, oh, it wasn't right in front of me. Which comics? So, all right, let's go into the next one. Kenneth, which writers and artists do you hope to do stories in Detective Comics issue 1000? I think it's a little bit too, well, it's not too far off, but I mean, Scott Snyder, of course, would have to be one. Frank Miller would have to be one. Tom King. Those are the ones James Tynion probably would write something. Those are the ones on the top of my head I can think of. Let's see. Okay. Another question from Tevia. Kat, do you think Renew Your Vows days are numbered? That's pretty much the question. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know the sales for that one. I think it's a very much a middle ground book. So it depends where Spider-Man's going. I think honestly, the reason it's still here is because it's Marvel's answer to say, oh, well, if you want Mary Jane and Spider-Man together, we have this other book that you can read. Just don't read Amazing Spider-Man. So I think that's the real reason why it's around, is for them to, during conventions, to promote that book. And for those people who want the marriage, that's kind of their answer to it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, let's see. A Nut says, what are your top 3 franchises of all time? I'm going to go comic franchises because that's a little bit easier than just franchises. Comic franchises, Spider-Man, X-Men, and Batman. Those are my top 3. comic franchises, probably. Yeah, I'm going to go with those three. DNGN, do you think we will ever go back to a time when the big two both release under 30 books per month? I like the era of content, but my wallet is in pain. No, sadly, I don't see Marvel going down. DC is kind of, I think, closer to that number. Oh, well, not a month. There, I wouldn't say a month. You said a month. Yeah, no, definitely not a month. Because they release about like 10 or 15, well, probably like 15 books a week. And then like Marvel probably releases like 20 to 25 a week. So I don't think we're going to get to see 30. I don't think the comic book industry could survive with them just releasing 30 a month. I think that's a little bit low. All right, let's see. Tevia, why can't Marvel just, again, they don't want it to happen, Tevia, because he's asking why can't they do Superman Reborn with Spider-Man? They don't want it. That's not the direction they want with the character, or else they would have redone Warmer Day a long time ago. Kenneth says, when do you think we will get a solo Supergirl series again, and who's your dream creative team to write and draw the series? Mine would be Sterling Gates and Supergirl being Super Team. So Joelle Jones. Yeah, I would like probably the Supergirl being Super Team would be the best. And I love Sterling Gates as well. But when? I think it'll happen sooner than later. I don't know. I think they need to figure out where they want to take Supergirl first. They got to figure out what keeps going wrong. And once they do that, they can relaunch. And we'll have to see what our role is in Bendis's book. Flash Shapeshifter, are they killing the Inhumans? Well, we don't know yet. It's called The Death of the Inhumans, I believe, the actual series. But we've also gotten a series called The Death of the X-Men, and they didn't die. Still a couple of them around, obviously. So I don't think they're gonna all die. I think it's just the title, and we'll get one main player who dies. Kind of like again, Death of X-Men Cyclops died there. Tevia, how would you undo One More Day? Given the chance, I would say, hey, One More Day didn't happen. You just gotta, you bring Mephisto, and he comes along. You find out that actually, was all fake. And that's it. You go back. I don't know. I would have to sit down and like actually plot stuff. Like I can't in a dime say what would happen, but that's kind of like the first steps of fixing that. Last Shapeshifter. Wait, Supergirl lost her book. Yeah, it got canceled. I believe this last week was the last issue. DNGN, is the Fourth World overrated? I think so. Kenneth Crayley says, do you think the past Supergirl comic series got canceled because of sales numbers? Yeah, I do. A nut draws. Are comic books your favorite medium, or is there something better? No, comic books are definitely my favorite medium. Close second with television. Because I love serialized mediums. All right. Yes, keep coming with the questions, guys. We got Tevia. Question, any opinion on Netflix show's Altered Carbon? I haven't watched it. I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. No opinion. No, I know that a lot of people didn't like the first episode. That's all I really know about it. It's just like the first episode was really boring. So didn't really tempt me to go see Altered Carbon. Let's see. Jesse said, oh man, Fourth World is great. So definitely different opinions on the Fourth World. Don't ask me what I can say, because I want to say Fourth Wall so badly. All right, Nathan says, what shows outside of Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl are you glad that got renewed on CW? Black Lightning, I was happy about. Legends of Tomorrow, I was happy about. I want iZombie to get renewed. I'm behind on that show as well, but I love binging it and just watching it in general. It's such a good show. What else? Going through the days. Haven't watched Riverdale, so I don't have an opinion on it. I mean, I watched the first season, but I haven't watched any of season 2. Yeah, so that's all I can really think of. A nut. What are your main interests and hobbies outside superhero comics? Outside of superhero comics, other comics. No, I love television. Like I said, that's another thing I do. I like movies. I'm not a cinephile. I can't call myself a cinephile, but I really like movies a lot. What else do I like? Yeah, those are big ones I enjoy. Yeah, there we go. I love stories. That's the best to put it. DNGN, do you think the Donald Glover Deadpool cartoon would have been great? I think it. I mean, I think it would have been. I was excited. Tavia, Cat, any opinions on Netflix rebooting the Guardian Code? Never even heard of it. Never heard of the Guardian Code. I'll look it up because I saw the entire season. It was bad. Never heard of it. Let's see. Guardian Code. I mean, it doesn't. Oh, the reboot thing? Okay, I have heard of it. Never seen it. Jesse, do you prefer deep dish or thin crust? Thin crust for me. All right, let's see. Kenneth, do you think Cape Joel will ever come on Comic Frontline as a guest host? Love his reviews and insights. He has actually. Joel is guest starred on or guest appeared on Media Madness a lot of times. So especially with our DC animated movie stuff. So yeah, go check that out. I've known Joel for a long time, so he has guested over there. DNGN, if Arrow outlives iZombie, there's no justice in the world. Yeah, iZombie, I feel like has a bit more story to, at least more story to tell than what Arrow has right now. But we'll see with the new showrunner coming up for Arrow, they'll liven up the show again. Again, I have not seen this season though, so I might have a totally different opinion once I finish this season, which I will. Just wait until all the shows end. That way I could catch up. A nut draws. What is your favorite potato chip flavor? Sour cream and onion for sure. Tevia, question, Kat, how would you do a super? I think you ask me this one every single time, Tevia. I wouldn't. I don't like Super Sons. Anime movie. I wouldn't want to do it honestly. I mean, I guess if they were like, "Oh, write Super Sons this is my first DZ project," I'll be like, oh, "Okay." But they're not my. I don't read the comics, so I don't care for them. All right, let's see. DNGN. Which actor/actress would you love to see portray a superhero/villain that haven't? Bonus points if you can match the actor to the character. Who hasn't? I don't know. Can't tell you. I don't know. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been in a superhero movie. Come back to me. I gotta think on that. Jesse, what TV series would you bring back like Roseanne? Secret World of Alex Mack. That's a show I think would be really cool to see in modern times, especially with superheroes being so popular. Really like to see that be rebooted. Tavia, question, Kat, how would you do an X-Men anime series again? I would love just to see a relaunch of X-Men Evolution because that was amazing. Or I just have Kitty be a leader of an X-Men group. I would do Pride of the X-Men right, except she wouldn't be a kid. She would be an adult. That's what I would do. Let's see. All right, so let's go actually last minute questions. But again, you guys could keep going whenever I see the questions have ended. That's where I'll stop. But let's do the mass of questions now. I'll talk about what's coming up for my channel like I was before, and during that time, you could ask questions, and whenever those questions are over, I'll probably wrap up the show. But yeah, like I said, comic reviews are already up today, so I was happy about that. Actually, like a lot, not actually, there's a lot of weeks I like a lot of comics, but this week especially, I liked a lot of comics. If you want to check it out, I actually have a 5-star book this week. Really enjoyed that book, whichever it was. Check that out. And like I was saying before, TV show wise, the only one I can really promise that I'm going to be having is The Loud House. That's the show I always try getting on because it's popular on my channel. So, and I also love the show. So I will have reviews for that. And Infinity War, when that comes out, I will be sure to have a review for that. Yeah, so that's what's coming up. I already told you about the Comic Cons coming up. I got 2 Comic Cons. And I talked about that. So cool. All right, let's see if we got any more questions. All right. Flash Shape Chapter. You probably talked about this, but thoughts on the Titan suits? Yes, I did. So go check out Frontline Live yesterday. We talked about that. And I left the link. I think you You might have saw it. I think you're the one who saw it. So, oh, we got Jay in the comments. Grumpy cat. There you go. I'm a little less grumpy today. I had some sleep. Devia, question, Kat, how would you bring back Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes? Honestly, I wouldn't. I feel like I would just do a completely different Avengers show. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if there's that cult fan base that you could bring that back. I think people liked it, but it's not like Young Justice. So I would just do another Avengers series. Kenneth says, Kat, Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum at Awesome Con said they would do a Smallville anime series. Would you like to see that someday, maybe on DC streaming service? Yeah, I would, but I would also be conflicted with the whole Allison Mack stuff. So if someone else voices Chloe, I'd give it a thumbs up. DNGN, are old Star Wars fans the problem with the current trilogy? No, I think the problem... Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. I think that's subjective to say it's a problem. I feel like I like it. I like the trilogy a lot and got me into Star Wars. So, yeah, I think that's very subjective of saying if it's a problem or not. It's definitely making its money. All right, let's see. We got a Nut Draws question retry, more specific. What DC Marvel title would you recommend a Power Rangers fan if they love color-coded teams, armored heroes, robots versus monsters? Monsters, I would say Damage from DC. That, and again, Mech Cadet U that I know Jay reads in the comments. That's another one. Color-coded teams. That has to be current books. I don't know. I don't know that one. I don't know if there's any color-coded teams. Armored heroes. Armored heroes. Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman's technically an armored hero. There you go. Yeah, that's all I could think of. Tevia, Kat, any expectations of God of War? No, again, Tevia, I don't really play video games that much, at least those type of video games. So I'm sorry, I have no answer on that. I have a very specific video game likeness. Joe Fisher, are you watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? And if so, how are you liking it? I've been behind on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while. I'm planning on when it ends, whenever it does, I'll catch up on it. Flash Shapeshifter, Cat versus Grumpy Cat. When? I don't know. It's going to be fun, though, whenever I could clone myself and be really tired. DNGN, which is very easy. Tired Cat. Anyways, is Krypton better than it had any business being? From the pilot, it was. That's all I watched, so I think it was. Jay says, LOL. Hey, Lord Jakin. Who's writing Miles now that Bendis is out? I think they meant. We don't know yet. Yes, Mech Cadet used a book by Boom and Power Rangers fan will like. Mortal Mario says, do you like Ninja Turtles? Nope. Tevia, question, how do you feel about Punisher fighting Iron Man? No opinion. Jesse, Robotech comic, maybe. Yeah, true. Robotech could be a good one. DNGN, do you enjoy Wonder Woman more that it is now one timeline? No, I mean, I liked Greg Rucka's run more, so no, I guess. Flash Shapeshifter, would you play a Mayday Parker video game? Yeah, again, it's not that I don't play video games. I guess I kind of should have worded that better. I'm just not a gamer, you know? There's definitely a big difference. In high school, I loved video games. There was a time where I knew all the new games coming out, but you gotta pick stuff you gotta have time for, you know? And video games are more recreational for me, so don't pick up a lot of them. A Nut Draws. Thanks for the recommendation, Kat and Lord Jacon. We'll definitely check out Mech Cadet U. Yeah, I think that's definitely the best recommendation if you like robot stuff. Because I really can't think of any other robot things. Jay says Kat has a certain type of game she enjoys. Exactly. DNGN, which DC hero needs an Earth 1 book? Well, we got Teen Titans, we got Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Aquaman, I think, needs one. Aquaman would be cool. Who else would I like to see? I want to see Batgirl. Need to see some more of the female heroes. Birds of Prey would be interesting because Batgirl was teased in Batman Earth 1, and then Batman Earth 2 just never showed up. So we'd like to see Batgirl. All right. Kenneth, any opinion on Steve Orlando writing Wonder Woman as a fill-in writer for a few issues? I think it's just going to be a fill-in arc. I don't have a big opinion. I usually don't love Steve Orlando's writing. Again, personal preference. Just haven't really enjoyed his stuff. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to read it. Nathan Banks says, favorite Marvel game / video game? Spider-Man 2 from GameCube. That was fun. Just like the webbing around and doing little missions for sure is my favorite. A nut. If Jay's Lord J-Con is Cat Uno Slayer, I'll take it. Tevia says, question, Cat, are you excited for the upcoming Spider-Man video game? I don't think it's coming out for Xbox One. I would be getting something like that because it does look really cool, but I don't have a PlayStation. I believe it's only coming out for PlayStation. Flash Shape Chapter says, I kind of feel the Iron Fist season 2 has a chance since Scott Buck isn't returning. I think it has a chance because of Misty and sorry, I was searching up. Okay, yeah, he's not returning. I was looking up the actor, so it's the father. Yeah, but I think it has a chance. Colleen Wing and Misty. All right. Jesse says, let me load. Jesse says, so you don't actively hate video games and pick it in front of GameStop. Yeah, so I don't do that. Like, definitely don't hate video games must stop. No, definitely don't do that. I do play video games. I like them, just not a hardcore fan. Yeah, I'd read a Superboy Earth 1, Jevia. Oh yeah, that's true. So Jay recommends Justice League / Power Rangers crossover. That was a fun one. Definitely recommend that as well. TNGN, are there any characters in comics that you would age up? Example, Old Man Logan or de-age. Example, Beast Boy and Raven. I like that Valeria and Franklin are being aged up for Fantastic Four. I think that's really cool. Who else would I age up or de-age? I'd age up Batgirl just a little. I think Barbara. And maybe Steph, I think she could be like a year or two older as well, because in the Pre-New 2, she kind of felt older than she does now, because obviously they were. I think they were like 19, and now they're probably like 17, so I would age her up 2 years. So yeah, those are the ones I would. All right, let's see. Jay says, LOL, Cat Slayer. Jesse, hold on. Jesse, Team NTF color coding in armor in our team. Kenneth, question, Cat, would you read a Supergirl Earth 1? Yeah, I mean, I read all the Earth 1s, so I pick it up no matter what, but I'd be excited for a Supergirl Earth 1. Yeah, so Tevye says Spider-Man's only coming out for PS4. Not going to buy PS4 for the game. Let's see. All right. Flash Shape Chapter says I would read a Spider-Man Power Rangers book. Tevye said, what about Tim Drake Robin? What about him? Lost that conversation. DNGN, do you think Jane Foster should come back in the near future, or should the death be death in comics again? I'm going to be selfish and say I want Jane back. I really do. I don't, at this point, we've gotten so many returns of heroes. I think you just need a good period of time of them being gone. So with Jane, I would like a good 5 years or 4 or 5 years before she returns, like something like that. I don't think you have to retire a character forever and not use them. But I think making the death impactful is important. Like Wolverine, I think would have been impactful if we didn't have Old Man Logan. But because we had Old Man Logan, it feels like he never left. But if they waited this amount of time, because it's been a while since Wolverine's death, and didn't have Old Man Logan, this would have been a more impactful death for Wolverine. Good question, though. Tevye says, question, Cat, how would you reform Young Justice Tim Drake? I don't think Tim Drake would be in the Young Justice team. I think they're all a bit older. I agree with, Jay said this many times. It would probably be John and Damian, because they technically are young. kids now. They are the Young Justice. So I see them being more part of the Young Justice team, or at least what the Young Justice stood for, which was like the pre-Teen Titans. The Flash Shapeshifter says, I miss Jane Thor. Me too. Jesse says Jane as Thor was great. I 100% agree. Flash Shapeshifter says they're excited for Young Justice Season 3. Kenneth says, Kat, I may be in the minority, but I have enjoyed Trinity. Sad the series will be ending. I've only read like maybe the first arc of Trinity. Tevia, Kat, what about retiring Spider-Man? I don't want to see Spider-Man retired in the main title. Because, I mean, but having their daughter alive. I mean, that's just Spider-Girl. Yasakug says, do you think the Captain Marvel movie should have Kamala Khan cameo? Maybe for a second movie. I wouldn't want to see that in the first movie. Tevia and Miles Morales becoming Peter's apprentice. No, I still like seeing Peter. Nut Draws, have you ever noticed the parallels between superhero universe and professional wrestling? Oh, for sure. I know a lot of fans of wrestling love comics, and it makes sense. DNGN, do you prefer the X-Men in standalone stories or active in the Marvel continuity? I like them more in standalone stories. Tavia, what about pulling a Batman Beyond, but for Peter Parker? I don't like Batman Beyond, so no. And that's Spider-Man 2099. That's pretty much Batman Beyond in Spider-Man 2099. So they kind of already did it. All right. Kenneth asks, Marvel will be releasing soon a series of Spider-Girl collection. Yes, I'll be picking it up. I actually talked about that earlier in the show. Tevia says he loves Batman Beyond. I do know that. I don't. Let's see. And Flash the Shapeshifter did say she doesn't like Batman Beyond. I don't. Tevia says he will be picking up that Spider-Girl collection. I'm glad to hear that. We got to have more people buy it if we want Spider-Girl to come back. Joe Fisher, a big Havoc fan here. Wish Marvel would put him back on one of the X-Men teams, and did. Actually, Havoc, I believe, is coming back on Astonishing X-Men. So look forward to that. He will be there. That was just announced last week. Let's see. Let me know if there's any more questions, or else I think I'm gonna wrap up the show. All right, here we go. A nut says, what is the biggest impact comics have left on your life? It changed my life, you know? A lot of stuff I do in my life is about comics. So yeah, I mean, I think it's completely, it's completely affected my life. My life would be totally different. I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't read comics and didn't have a job relating to comics. DNGN, what is the weakest roster current in a popular team book? Weakest roster. It's really good. I feel like there's strong rosters that are just not done right. Like Champions, like that could totally be a good roster, but they just don't do it right. Yeah, I wanted to say that. I feel like if I did read Exiles is a weird roster. I would say Exiles, I guess. Exiles is a weird one. Picked out of the hat type roster. Tevia, Kat, do you think the past X-Men are finally going away? Maybe. Would you audition for Mayday Parker? You mean audition? Tevia says, Kat, how would you bring back the real Cyclops? I don't like Cyclops very much. So I don't know if I'd be the right person to do so. I don't hate him, but I also don't care for him very much. So I don't miss him. Kenneth says, Kat, are you excited that Scott Snyder's Justice League roster will be the roster sort of from the cartoon? I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm interested. Joe Fisher, Superior Spider-Man was way too short of a run. Should have been longer, 4 to 5 years. I don't know about, I think it was the perfect amount for me. We got DNGN. Any hype for Flash War Batman's Wedding? I have hype for both. More for Batman's Wedding, but I am excited for Flash War. Yeah, sorry. Would I audition as an actress? No, I would rather someone else play Mayday, a good actress. Tevia said, "What about Jean Grey? She came back to life." No, I'm not saying it's impossible for him to come back. I'm sure he will. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it because I don't, care about Cyclops. A nut draws. Who is the most handsome superhero of all time? Ooh, Dick Grayson for sure. DNGN. I know we have differing opinions on Tom King's run. Yeah, and that's good. I like seeing different opinions. Kev the Great says, "Have you read Action Comics 1000?" Yes, I did. Did a review, so go check that out. Did an individual review as well. So, Flash the Sheep Chapter says, "I wish the past X-Men would go away." It might with that arc coming out. Forget what it's called. Tevia says, "Question, Cat, do you think Doc Ock becoming a villain again was a terrible idea?" I think it's fine. I mean, it's kind of already somewhat of a villain with Superior Spider-Man. He was an anti-hero, so I don't mind. I also don't care for Doc Ock that much. I'm tired of him. I used to like him, but now he's just been overplayed. I'm done with Dr. Ock. All right. Yeah, it looks like that's all the questions. So I'm gonna wrap up the show, I guess. I will have another Q&A during May, so look forward to that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Ghetto. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. I have an Instagram too. Always forget to promote that. I have that. I usually post my pull list over there. I did that today, and I talk about which books I'm really excited to read. So check that out, and go check out Like Father, Like Daughter, and They Call Her Dancer. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. Bye.